Hey guys, thanks for watching the Chen Dynasty. It's Mikexingchen. There is, of course, beauty in diversity. And just talking about Asians here, for one, the distinctiveness of the physical features among Asian people partly contribute to their overall identity, and what makes each and every one of them unique is, well, their eyes. Or should I say, their eyelids in particular are admittedly one of their physical attributes that makes them stand out. And though there are some people who hold the stereotypical notion that all Asian eyes somehow look the same, nothing is further from the truth. In reality, the eyelids have a variety of unique characteristics in every individual of Asian descent. So let's talk about the Asian eyes. There are many different types of Asian eyelids, and when we say Asian, we're referring to the varied eyelid morphologies currently present in the continent of Asia. And this includes a variety of races like Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indian, Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian, and more. However, most of the published literature about the Asian eyelid are focused more on the morphology of eyelids that are common among Chinese descents. And so while we will be covering as many types of Asian eyes from different regions of the continent as possible, a large portion of this video will be tackling eyelid morphology of Asians whose origins can be traced back to the continent's far eastern regions. So what are some of the unique characteristics of Asian eyes or eyelids? The design and distinctiveness of different types of eyes is primarily the result of people's genetics. There are many factors at play in the beginning and over the course of your life that will contribute to the determination of what type of eyes you are born with and how they will develop as time goes by. The structure of your face and the eye area, including minute considerations like the level of the skull and the shape of your orbital rims, are just some of the elements that determine the angle and width of your eyelids. For many Asians, the unique characteristics of the upper eyelids are what primarily sets them apart from other races as well as from each other. For example, their upper eyelid crease is not as apparent compared to the crease of a Caucasian eye. The typical Caucasian eyelid is referred to as semi-lunar and has a prominent crease. However, among Asians, they could have a pair of eyelids without a crease, eyelids with non-continuous or broken crease, eyelids with a complete crease, and even eyelids with multiple creases. Or a freak like me with one eye with multiple creases and the other one with two creases. It's all messed up. Anyways, just like in Caucasians, the eyelid skin is also the thinnest skin in the body of Asians. And the thinnest part of that area is found near the ciliary margin of the eye, which has a thickness of 0.3 millimeters. Then the upper eyelid skin gradually thickens as it gets closer to the eyebrow, and just below this area, the skin's thickness is around 1 to 1.3 millimeters. It is important to note, however, that the Asian upper eyelid is generally thicker than that of Caucasians. And so the difference in skin thickness between the supratarsal area and the area nearer to the brow are typically more visible and obvious among Asians. The Asian upper eyelids also look puffier and have more fullness to them. This is because there are 4 fat pads found in the Asian eyelid. These are the subcutaneous, pretarsal, submuscular, and orbital fat pads. Subcutaneous, pretarsal, and submuscular fat deposits in particular are more prominent in Asians and explains the eyelid's puffy appearance. Fat pads are also thought to be one of the factors that contribute to the formation of single eyelids. Now let's talk about the epicanthal fold in Asians. Among people of Asian descent, the nose bridge does not elevate as it does in other ethnicities. Because of this, the epicanthal fold is a prominent feature that is common among Asians. But what is the epicanthal fold? Well, it is a semi-lunar flap of skin that descends along the side of the nose from the upper eyelid to the medial aspect of the lower eyelid. It can also cover the medial canthus or the inner corner of the eye. There are a variety of factors that influence whether someone develops epicanthal folds or not. Aside from age and certain medical conditions, its appearance and the features of eyelids is largely dependent on geographical ancestry. The epicanthal fold is common in people of many, though not all, groups of East Asians as well as Southeast Asian descent. It is also found in some members of Native Americans, Central Asians, Tibetans, and in some parts of Africa and more. The epicanthal fold is believed to have evolved as a defense against extreme cold temperatures and extreme light that regularly occur in Euro-Asian Arctic and northern regions. They also serve to protect the eyes against dust in regions with large areas of deserts, such as in northern China, Mongolia, and in several parts of Africa. The epicanthal fold is distinct from upper eyelid crease in the combination of the presence or absence of these features, and the way they are formed in our eyelids are some of the ways we can identify the different types of Asian eyes that exist today. So now let's talk about the different types of Asian eyelids. The upper eyelid crease can be divided into 3 types. The first one is referred to as the single eyelid or monolid, in which there is no visible lid crease below the brow area. There is also such a thing as a low eyelid crease, and they can be low-seated, nasally tapered, and can include a hidden fold. The last type is the double eyelid, which is essentially identified by its well-formed supratarsal crease. Monolids or single eyelids can be classified further into several subtypes: puffy, sunken, flat, partial, and hooded. Because of the fat deposits on the eyelids, monolids can appear appear like they are puffy. This puffiness is what makes the eyes look half closed in some Asians. However, it is also possible to have minimal fat deposits on a monolid, as is the case in the sunken subtype. With sunken monolids, people can have a bigger looking or smaller looking set of eyes, and the eyeballs appear more clearly. Sunken monolids also resemble deep set eyes minus the eye creases. Monolids can also be neither sunken or puffy, and these eyelids are referred to as flat monolids. There are also such things as partial monolids or demi-monolids, which are almost the same as double eyelids. The only difference is that this subtype only shows half or part of what double eyelids look like. This type of monolids also has creases, but in this case, the lids lack enough muscle to pull the creases into forming full double eyelids. Lastly, the fifth subtype of monolids, the hooded monolids, is characterized by its hidden creases. However, due to lid thickness, which is caused by an extra layer of skin drooping over, these creases usually cannot be seen. This makes the eyes appear smaller and sometimes even sleepier. While this trait usually runs in the family, it can also be brought about by aging as the skin of the eyelids begin to droop over time. The double eyelids can also be divided further into several subtypes: the in-fold double eyelid, the in-out fold double eyelid, and the out-fold double eyelid. In the in-fold double eyelid, the height of the upper lid crease is lower than the epicanthal fold. The medial eyelid crease is also hidden by the coverage of the epicanthal fold, which makes the eyelid look thin, only to become more noticeable in the mid-lateral area of the lids. The in-out fold double eyelid is the middle form between the in-fold and the out-fold subtypes. The crease starts from the tip of the corner of the eye and gradually extends to the other end of the eye. The crease converges and tapers nasally to the eyelid margin. The height of the crease is usually small or medial and is usually located right on the epicanthal fold. And lastly, the outfold subtype, the height of the crease of the double eyelid is higher than the epicanthal fold. This particular eyelid crease starts apart from the medial canthus without touching the inner corner of the eyes. It is also possible to have an outfold type of double eyelid that is without epicanthal folds. Of course, the examples we have mentioned here in this video are not the only types of Asian eyes that are in existence today. There are also Asian eyes with parallel creases and even rarer Asian eyelids with reversal epicanthal folds. And as we become more of a global society, genetic diversity continues to break the barriers of what Asian eyes are expected to look like. And so future generations may have even more varied and unique eye characteristics than what we have today. And I wanted to make this video because I grew up, and I know a lot of other Asians grew up in a similar environment where the people around us were not primarily Asian, and I got made fun of with the kung fu noises and of course with the whole eye thing and comments of, oh, hey Mike, how come all Asian eyes are slanted? So hopefully this video can educate and also let people know that, hey, nope, not all Asians have the same type of eyes. But I do hope we get to the point that stereotypical labels of people's appearance become a rare and unusual practice and not the observed norm. After all, there is a lot of truth in the saying that there is always more to everyone than meets the eye. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.